This is a Galaxy S8 Plus, and I want to make a quick video just to show one of the other reasons that you may have issues with charging. I'll go ahead and plug this in here real quick, and you'll see that when it starts to charge, after a few seconds we get this little error triangle, I want to call it, and that's a temperature warning saying that the phone thinks it's too hot or cold to be charged. Now there's a few reasons this can happen. Sometimes you've got an issue with the charge port itself. As in the other video that I made, it can actually be a connector on the motherboard, but in this case it is neither of those, and it comes down to this little piece right here. This is the NFC for wireless charging and communication, and what happens is I've already taken the back off this phone. Flip it over here. I've got a screw falling out there, and you'll see that you might not be able to see here, but I will put it under the microscope in a second. So this little piece that goes in here tends to get damaged sometimes when the phones get worked on. Let's see if we can zoom in. Yeah, I don't think I can really zoom in close enough for you to see this, so I'm going to switch over to the microscope here real quick so that we can get a better look. And if we check right over here, you can already see that this has got some some sort of wear on it. I'm not sure what happened exactly, but there's a component on the other side of here that senses. So this is what we'd be looking at on the opposite side. It is called a thermistor. It's basically a resistor that it'll tell you, it'll tell the phone if there's an extreme change in temperature, and it does that by varying the resistance on this component. But long story short, if this is damaged, it's not going to be able to read the information from here accurately, and it's going to think that there's a problem. So all we're going to do is go ahead and replace it. It's a pretty straightforward procedure. Let's go back over here real quick. So all we're going to do is remove this piece here that's attached to this plastic on the top, and you can see it's got some adhesive that holds it on around here. We'll just peel these things off, pop that in, and we should have a working charging phone. Now when we go to install the new piece, there's just one thing I want to point out here real quick. Go ahead and get this ready to go. There's a lot of adhesive to peel off. So we're going to do this piece first on the inside, and there are some little posts in here that will line that up for you. And then what you want to make sure to do is get this little component, this little flap here, and make sure that that goes on the outside, because if you put it on the inside and you try to install this, you will end up smashing this little piece, and that is most likely what happened when this was installed initially on the old one, is that it was sitting with this piece underneath the plastic, screws got put in, and it just smashed that thermistor, or the flex cable itself. So do be careful. Let's go ahead and get this off first of all. Don't need that. And this one should hold it down into place. And then we have one more piece to peel off right here, and we're ready to go. And we'll need to add a couple of screws to put the required pressure behind the connections here so that the phone can tell that this is plugged in. So I usually put these two, should be sufficient. And now we can test. And we are charging.